I'm Beth, I'm a Hobbycraft Artisan here at Preston store. I'm here to demonstrate some gouache techniques using some of the great deals we have available in the art event that we've got going on in store right now. It's been running throughout all the summer and we've got more stuff in store and online. But before I start, I'd first like to quickly mention the work we have all done in Hobbycraft stores to ensure that all customers and colleagues are safe as possible in store. Take a look on our website to find out all the details. If you stay tuned, at the end of our video, I'll give you some details about our Artist of the Year competition. But I'm going to get started now, but if you've got any more questions or anything like that, please put them in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them for you. So, here's our Hobbycraft gouache paints that we have. I would really recommend buying these if you're a first time painter, which are brilliant for start if you're starting off with new paints or if you're just doing some bits of crafts at home. So I'm going to start with a light wash of black just to start my wings off. If you start off with your lighter colours first, it is just a lot easier. So as you can see, that's a bit too dark. I'm going to just tap my paintbrush on a bit of paper. And I'm going to push this all the way through. So with gouache paint, you can sort of use it as sort of a watercolour and an acrylic, depending on what you're after. Usually when I do my sort of paintings, I do a bit of both actually. I do my watercolour base first, just to give a bit of a lighter tone, and then I'll add it on top with my acrylic just to give a bit of texture, which I think are absolutely great. So I'm going to do the second wing underneath because I don't want it to have wet on this area because the paint will just simply bleed out. So I'm going to start off with my lighter colours first. So I'm going to start off with my yellows. So at the moment I'm painting on a canvas board, which you don't really use for watercolours at all because it doesn't really take it, but I actually quite like the way that it takes the paint, the way that it dries. And also I like the effect that you get off it too, it's quite nice. So I'm just going to dab it all around. You don't need to make this perfect at all because when you put the black on the top, you won't see all your pencil markings whatsoever. So depending how long you want to wait for your painting to dry, you can even put it on thicker so it dries quicker, or you can leave it quite thin so it takes a bit longer to dry to have a bit more of that watercolour effect. So I am using the graduate acrylic paint brushes for today, and I'm also using the Dale Around these thinner brush to get my details in with that, make it a bit more fluffy and a bit more details around where the black bits are and to get my highlights in there. We've not got any cheeky questions yet, or your?
So we've got so Emma and Chrissy are saying hi.
Hi!
Emma has also asked, what has been your favourite subject to paint so far?
It's got to be my Highland cows that I paint at the moment. I'm absolutely obsessed with painting them. Just the way that you use your brushes and you can make it very lot fluffy around the fur and give it a bit of texture. I absolutely love Highland cows. Bees are also my favourite as well. As much as I'm terrified of bees, I absolutely love painting them. So I'm just adding a bit of the darker in with the yellow, just so it's got two different tones, because bees are quite bright with the yellow areas, but it's also got lots of different dark tones to it also. So here we've done that bit of a wet on wet effect, so they sort of bleed and merge into each other, which I quite like. But you can also add some lighter bits at the end if you want a bit more yellow in there. So I'm just going to clean my brush because you don't want that mixing. So I'm going to go straight in with the black. I'm going to start in the middle and then I'm going to work my way outwards just so I don't take too much of the yellow away.
So we've got a couple more highs. So we've got a hi from Vicky and Brenda.
Hi! Thanks for joining. I hope you're enjoying it so far. So as you can see, it sort of looks a bit flat at the moment. I've got not much character, but once I've got these black bits in, it's going to look a bit more better. Got a really bad concentration face right now.
So we have a question from Helen.
Yeah.
She says, love your work, bees are my favourite too. How did you become a hobbycraft artisan?
So I first started off with, I did obviously art in school and college, and I went to university with it, and then got given the opportunity to become an artisan. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I love it. I wouldn't change anything about being a hobbycraft artisan. There's so much opportunities, and it's good fun. You meet lots of new people from different stores, which is great, and it's nice to have that sort of a community bond with all your other colleagues from different stores, because we all help each other out. If we've got any questions, or like we've got who did the video last week, Charlotte, she does oil paintings and stuff like that, and I constantly pester her for questions and ideas and what to do. So we're all good for that. So if you've got absolutely any questions for any of us, if you find us on our Hobbycraft website, all our information is on there to find us. So we're more than all happy to take any questions from you. So now that I've got the black in, I'm just gonna swap my brush over to my skinny brush. So then I'm still applying the black in, but then I'm going to slowly start pulling my black upwards, just to give it that fluffy effect. I'm also keeping it my brush a bit dry, just so it gives that fluff, so it's not a straight line. Also, I'll be adding bits of brown where the black is and some highlights and stuff. Also, we've got quite a lot of really great offers on in store at the moment. We've got these pens, our Uni Ball Pen Pens. These are absolutely great for details, and which I'll be using later to add a bit more fluff on my little bumblebee legs. So yeah, don't be shy with pulling your black through. You can go back over the top with some more highlights and stuff like that.
So we've got a question from Karishma.
Yeah.
She's basically asking, did you find you've been crafting more during lockdown? And do you have any favourites that you did during that time?
I'm not gonna lie, I bought some black paint and I started painting my one of my walls in my house with like loads of black spots, like a Dalmatian print all over my wall. So that is something that I've been up to throughout lockdown. I've also been doing a lot of painting a lot of cows. But yeah, the biggest thing I've done is my one of my walls in my house with painting. But I've been cry cutting a lot as well. I love to do that, making little gifts and stuff and little bags. Just quite fun. Really recommend it as a craft. It's one of my favourite things to do in my spare time. So I'm just going to keep pulling these, and I'm also going to do some on its bottom. Can you see it's a bit more fluffy? It's starting to look a bit cuter. So with your gouache paints, quite a lot of people use it for like doing posters and like illustration. Like I've just recently got into gouache paints. Quite interesting to use it both as a watercolour medium and acrylic one. So at the side of me, I've actually got some different demonstrations of how I've used my gouaches. I've done it on craft card, so it shows like the colours are still vibrant when you've painted on a darker backdrop. And then I've also painted it on some wood, which looks quite nice. It's also bleeded with the effect that I've gone for, and then obviously with the bee that we are doing today. I absolutely love these colours, they're so nice. So I'm actually just going to paint the bottom wing of my bumblebee. Again, I don't want it to be too dark, but I want it to show that there is two different, it's layered over each other. So this bit here should come darker, but this bit should be the same sort of tone as the bottom bit.
So we have a couple of very nice comments. Amanda is saying, what an amazing skill. Helen is saying, hi Beth, you are so talented. Lots of emojis.
Thank you.
And Tracy's saying you're doing fab.
Oh, thank you, Tracy.
Keep the comments coming in.
Yes, keep them coming, don't be shy. So I'm just going to get onto the little legs now, but I'm not going to fully paint the legs in. I want to keep a bit of white in. I don't want it to look perfect, so I'm going to kind of look at it a bit. It's not scraggy, but not a clean look either. So I'm just going to pull its legs out and then just dabble some little markings for its feet there. And then same again on the other side. Looking cute. Yeah, so don't be shy, just to keep your brush dry and just make a few little markings, even if it's not touching the bee itself. It'll look quite cute at being out of place. And then antennas. So with your antennas, just go for it, be squiggly. There we go, and then add them bits on here. So while we're just letting this bit dry, I'm just going to get all the legs done so I can start adding my whites and stuff in, because it's a bit wet on top. I don't want it to start looking grey and a bit dull. So I'm just going to carry on painting with its feet.
So Fiona is saying you are super talented and she loves the giraffe in the background. Do you want to bring that out so that people see it a bit?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I also have my own Instagram page and Hobbycraft page. If you want to follow, I have lots more paintings and different crafts that you can copy and do yourself. It's called The Craft Hive. Mine's a group on Facebook. If you follow that, I will happily accept your requests. And if you've got any questions, I'm more than happy for you to answer them for you. So, the bee's started to dry a little bit now. I'm going to just clean my brush off and then swap my brushes.
So Helen is asking, what type of brushes are you using for the fine detail?
I am using the Daler Roundy Round Aqualine brush. This is a watercolour brush. I use these for all my little fine details, say like for dog hairs and like for like whiskers and stuff like that, and like little tiny details like around the eyes and where like your nose areas if you're doing a dog, like to make things shine, sparkle out a bit more. These are the best brushes to use for that. So I'm just going to go back in with my dark orange there, and I'm going to start pulling them back through the black just so it gives a bit more fluffy look. And don't be shy to pull them up. And then I'm going to add a bit of a lighter yellow.
Remember everyone, this is live, so if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments.
Yes, don't be shy to ask. So I'm going to start adding a bit of brown in where the black is, just so it has a bit more colour, but I'm going to mix it a bit with the black, just so it's not too in your face. So it has a bit more texture into its body. So yeah, the store is completely safe to come into. You know, we've got cleaning constantly all the time. We've got markers on the floor. We're all wearing face masks, so you are safe to come in, and we're only keeping it to a limit to who can come into the store too, so it's not overcrowded. So please come and get yourself in and buy yourself some paints. So you can see these bits of brown now that start giving a bit more of a life looking effect. And then just a tiny bit around its top of its head. And then while it's wet, I'm actually going to put a bit of white in there, just so a bit of highlights in there. So as you can see, where the black bits are still wet, it will start making it a bit more grey looking.
So Maria is asking, do I turn my mic on? Sorry about that. So Maria is asking, can you buy all these brushes from Hobbycraft?
Can you buy these from Hobbycraft, sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, all these are available. So we do have our brushes in packs, or we have them individually, which is great, because obviously if you just need the one, it's handy just to grab and go. But yeah, we've got all sorts of different brushes for watercolours, gouache, oil paints. We've got a really, really good variety of paints. Even if you come in store, if you don't know what paintbrushes that you need to get, we're more than happy to help you and to find what's best for you. So usually I am a watercolour artist, but I am actually really, really enjoying using these paints. Just so I don't have to open my acrylics up and open my paint like my waters up. These are just great, just so I can mix whatever water in and it gives you what you want. So you can put it on thicker acrylics or add a lot of water in and it runs it down to make your watercolour. So I'm just going to put a bit of detail into the wings. Just a bit of markings here and there, because they have those little bits of details, don't they?
So Jane has just asked, can you, sorry, it just disappeared. Can you paint light colours on top of dark colours with gouache? Is that what you're doing here?
Yeah, that's what I was doing there. So what you'll have to do is let it dry out first, obviously, because if you, like with my white now, some of them are a bit grey, but if you let it completely dry out, you can go straight over. So if I'll just give you an example. So obviously I'm using bits of white now. So if I put some like dots on, you can see how vibrant they actually are on the bee. So you can use it either way, light on dark or dark on light. It's pretty good like that. So I just want to put a bit more of the yellow in on the top bit. Just to pull that through. And then I'm going to just put a few more of these white dots around my bead, just fill up some bits of highlights. So there's no like specific way that you have to do this. I'm just going for it, think what I quite like. Just go a bit crazy with your paints and don't worry about what it's going to look like. Just don't be shy to get down and dirty.
So Sarah has said it looks amazing.
Thank you.
And she also said she's not so good at drawing and painting. What would you say is the best way to get into and get good at this kind of thing?
So usually when I do drawing, I take my own, like get some pictures of like internet and stuff like that, and then just slowly draw it with like sort of circles. Like when I've drawn my bee, I've drawn it with 3 circles, like one small, one medium, and then for the bottom quite large, and then I've just then added all my little details around. I've always drawn with like circles when I'm drawing like anything really, like with like my giraffe, like with this round here, that's my circle, and then I've done a circle for my ears and then 2 at the top, and then I've just simply just joined all my lines together, and then it just comes as it is. Like when I'm drawing, I've never have clean lines when I'm drawing. I usually have my pencil at the end, not at the bottom, just like being in there. I'll always have it at the end and just being very, very light and sort of scruffy like with it. And then, because obviously if your paint's going to cover your pencil marks anyway, don't worry about your pencil marks. It's all about how you use your paints and how you get your highlights and your shades in there. But just go for it. Thank you for your questions. Anyway, it's rather fun. I've been enjoying myself here, painting away.
Donna has said you make it look so easy.
Thanks, Donna. So, with the pens that I have here, I usually go a bit mad with them. I get a bit overexcited, but I'm going to start putting a bit of like lines in. I don't always go on top of my lines. I'll always purposely go out of line, like I have with, I don't know if you can see close up there, with my giraffe, where my lines are very scraggy, they're not in line or perfect. That's just the way that I like to do my art. So I'm just going to quickly just go over some of my lines and then make a few marks here and there. I really like how the wings have come out, like the way that I've used the watercolour effect on the wings and then used it more acrylic looking on the actual bee itself. Got 2 different textures going on, it's quite nice. So I'm also going to get my pen in there just so I can get some more visible lines in there. Yeah, don't be shy to get your pens in. So
Barbara has asked if you have an Instagram, so I'm just going to pop the details back on screen again.
Yes, come and follow my page. There is lots to see. So this pen is literally one of my favourite things ever. We've done my highlights. It's a paper poetry gel pen, and I use this for all my highlights, like when I'm doing like the noses and stuff, and like with just little squiggly lines. And I'm also going to put them in there with my beads bottom. You see it's all building up together now. So with the feet, I'm just going to add little markings in there just so it's got like a bit of a shimmer, and then I'm going to add some onto the wings in a second. It's not really that visible, but these little markings make a difference towards a painting. Highlights literally just set all your paintings off. Just add a few more in there. So I'm sort of coming to the end of my bee now. So with most of my paintings, I let my waters go loose and go crazy across my page. So I'm going to get lots of water on my brush and water down my paints until it's very very wet, and then I simply just sprinkle it all around, and don't be shy, it doesn't matter if it goes on top of your bee or covers your black bits. And if you want, get your lighter colour, if you want different colour tones in there, just go for it. And then I'm actually going to do some black ones because I feel like having a bit of dark on there too. So, ooh, it's gone all over my visor, and at least it's not on my face. Get off of it, and we are done with our little bee. So while this is going to dry off, I'm just going to go a few things that's been going on in store and online. So our 2020 Artist of the Year competition is now live. We have 3 categories. We have youth, student and adult. Each will win a trophy, a £200 gift card and an art goodie bag full of products for our favourite brands, and a showcase of your artwork on our social media channels. The winner will be chosen of a panel of expert artists, and entries close on the 30th of September. I actually can't wait to see all your amazing artwork that you send us, and good luck, and just enjoy all your painting, and can't wait to see it. So before I go, I want to talk about what's going on with next week. We also have another live demonstration. We have them every week across the stores. You can also watch in line and to craft along to. So continuing with next Thursday, we have acrylic pouring technique workshop with Vicky, our artisan rugby store. I've had a sneaky peek of what she has done today, and I have to say she has absolutely done an amazing job, and it's really, you shouldn't miss it. Come and join us next week and you'll absolutely love it. So to find out more on our art sale, just head over to our website. Our information will be on the screen now. And don't forget to come back to see our acrylic pouring techniques demo on Thursday. So thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you in store soon. If you've got any more questions, please comment on below, and I'm happy to answer all of them when I'm finished. And